Hi, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. Welcome to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with my friend Jennifer Ayres, CEO of Senscient. Also has Survive and Thrive podcast, which was nominated for a Quill Award.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for remembering that.
Yeah.
You did your homework.
And of course, a keynote speaker.
Thank you,
yeah,
yes.
And doing more and more speaking. And, we're both, that's actually how we met, right?
That's right.
Through our mutual friend, Rob Holman.
That's right.
And it's so wonderful to finally meet in person.
Yes.
Because we're, putting together that we met in 2020 in his first speaking program.
That's right.
So.
And we're still together after all these years.
And we've reconnected,
that's
so
right.
That's so good.
Right, and it's wonderful to be here on your show. I'm so grateful and honored that you reached out.
And
it's a wonderful show you have, and it's inspirational, and I think hearing more of these stories is what we need, especially when we have gone through challenging times like we've just seen recently.
For sure.
So.
I can't wait. I know a lot of your story, but let's tell everyone about your story and how you started, Senscient, and definitely tell us a little bit about you personally.
Sure.
I know you have you're very accomplished and very humble. So tell us. I
don't know if my husband would say that, but I'm sure.
A little more, yeah.
Thank you for asking. So, my background is really in the area of helping leaders transform their people. So I spent about 15 plus years working for a large consulting company called Accenture that was, at that time I was largely focused on how to help organizations through change. So Lance, I had the privilege of working with some of the best thought leaders, with some of the best types of methodologies to help leaders drive change in their organization. And one of the things that I realized during that time was that there was a piece missing for me that was around how to nurture the culture and really how to nurture the people through change and how to create more purpose and meaning at work. So over time, I transitioned out of Accenture and went to a smaller boutique, not smaller, boutique-ish organization focused on culture, more culture shaping, leadership development, employee experience. And that's really where I started to get some inspiration on how do we knit together strategy, culture, and change in a way that ultimately helps businesses realize their desired value or purpose or business objectives, but also has a workforce behind it that feels excited to be there. Yeah. So that was how I ended up landing on starting Senscient 5 years ago. It's actually, the word sentient is a combination of a sentient being and ascendance. Okay. So our whole purpose is to help elevate meaning and purpose at work by creating positive and sustainable change.
Yes.
And I was actually prompted by my husband, who was my fiance 5 years ago at that time.
Okay.
He said to me, look, I think you could bring more to organizations. Yeah. I can see more potential in you that I don't see you realizing. So I think you should just go for it and try. And of course, at the time, I thought, listen, I am fine. I get a paycheck every 2 weeks and I get my benefits. And he ran a successful architectural lighting firm for years, but I also got to experience the trials and tribulations of being a business owner through, being his partner during those years. And I thought, I don't think I need all that. But lo and behold, what did I do? I married him and I started a company.
Okay.
I haven't looked back. I'm so grateful that he encouraged me to do that. And it's been a wonderful growth experience, both for me personally and professionally. And so that's my story.
And it's amazing. And I know you have such such strong relationships in so many industries because you've connected me with, one of the companies that you were working with, and that was fun. Right. That was like, the first 9-figure company that I helped, executives coach, and, your relationships are so strong with some of these corporations. So because what you do is so unique, maybe you can tell us a story or two on how you've helped an organization and had, an impact on them.
Sure, absolutely. So because we are really focused on helping leaders get clear on what their objectives are and how to articulate that narrative to the rest of their workforce, we will often be asked to come in and help shape that cultural narrative, better formulate the specific outcomes or the desired outcomes that the leader is looking to achieve, and then to work with those leaders to help their people navigate that change. So what that literally translates into is we may go into an organization that has an established new president, for example. This is actually one of our client case studies, if you will, and we will help them define what are the new ways of working that need to be in place in order to move from a more functional model into a more enterprise model. So we will actually help with the leaders to articulate what's the objective, what's the purpose, why are we doing this, how does it serve our greater purpose, and then we'll work with that leader to put plans in place so that people understand how do they fit into the context of that.
Right.
So that's an example of one area that we may come in and just help with leadership in terms of articulating a change in direction and being able to help those individuals understand why they're going in the direction that they're going and why that matters. Other places that we've been brought in is there have been difficulties in the organization where there's some business results or poor performance that leaders feel might be attributed to something going on with the people in the organization. So we're able to come in and understand where are there friction, where are there issues that are creating low engagement and therefore low performance, and how can we help address them. So there are programs that we put in place specifically to help identify and diagnose where an organization is suffering really because of issues that might be going on at the organizational level with their people, and we have programs to help nurture those organizations through change, and we've seen some remarkable results as a part of the process that we do.
Even without mentioning company names, can you share a couple of case studies, a couple cool results?
Yeah, sure. So one company that we supported was a spinoff of a larger technology organization, and they were struggling with just some challenges with getting their products out to the marketplace. And so we came in and did some diagnostic on what was going on in the workplace in terms of some of the actual handoffs from the teaming perspective and some of the confusion that was happening that was not always transparent to the leaders. So we were able to go in and understand that there were some gaps for people just in terms of understanding their role or their responsibility or why they were in the position that they were, and not really clear on who owns what piece of work. And then there was some feelings of mistrust, and some of that was really just because there weren't clear communications. So we actually did some baseline work with this company to uncover that we could address some of these things through a couple of different initiatives that we could support. There's some things that that company could do on its own. And actually in a couple of years, they doubled their Net Promoter Score over 2 years.
Okay.
So Net Promoter Score is something that we use to indicate what is the likelihood that you as an individual would recommend or refer your company to somebody else. And that's one of the measures that you can use to determine how people are engaged and how they're feeling about the company, and hence you'll usually see better productivity results.
Wow, so a doubling in 2 years, that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Nice job.
Yes, well, it was their work. They had to do the work.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
And another example is we were with an organization that was trying to build a capability in-house around change, and how do they help build sustainable change. So they had a massive transformation program going on where they were going to change not only ways of working, but technology. And we actually came in and helped them. There was a lot of risk because we had been brought in late to the table to help them with some of this planning on change and what we refer to as change management. But as a result, they ended up meeting their initial deadline for getting the program launched, and ended up saving them tens of millions of dollars in the end, because they were able to put some things in place that were not dependent on the technology to work, but dependent on the people to know what their processes are, what's changing, why it's changing, and what do I need to do when I show up to work, and why does it matter?
Okay.
So those are just a couple of examples of how we come in and help to establish determine what some of the challenges are, establish what the end state goal is or the future state goal, and then help the employee base better understand what is it that we're aiming at, what is the purpose of this, how do we fit into this context, and why does it matter?
Yeah, and in that second example, tens of millions of dollars, it sounds like drops to the bottom line, right? So they're healthier.
Correct.
Financially as well.
Yes. Those are companies that are running programs that might be already tens of millions of dollars because of the scale. They're in the billions of range, billions of size, 2 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion plus range.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's so cool to work with some of these bigger companies,
Yeah, we typically service mid-size.
That's what I was about to ask you. Yeah, what does your ideal client look like?
Well, our ideal client is a conscious leader who's willing to change and willing to be open to receiving coaching to help their people.
Okay.
But we typically serve mid-size to large Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies.
Okay.
And by mid-size, they could be generally north of about 500 million. We do have some clients that are smaller than that, and so that just tends to be who we attract, because they're sometimes at those stages they're making some acquisitions and they need some help getting their people to better integrate, or we do culture due diligence work to help companies assess what's the risk of taking in this company from a people perspective, because that's often overlooked. So. And then that just tends to be where we end up, because those are the areas where people are maybe growing, or they're divesting, or there's a turnaround situation. We get a ton of work now and a lot of calls now, and I bring this up because this is really timely, maybe especially for some of your audience. We get a lot of calls today on how can I nurture my culture and make sure that they're change resilient and change ready because of what we just went through with the pandemic, and also with the acceleration of the digital technologies and AI that's coming at us. How do we incorporate those into our business processes? How do I prepare for that? What can I do? And we get calls at every level. So smaller organizations are reaching out, larger organizations are reaching out. So literally we are in conversations with a Fortune 100 on a program, and also some small companies. Everybody's dealing with this.
For sure. I'll have to connect you with someone who brings AI into companies. One quick question before we take a short break. We always like to know how successful people navigate not only the peaks, but also the valleys. How have you gotten through some of the hard times? Where's your mindset been to navigate some of that?
It's like you just teed up that question. That was perfect. So I am a firm believer that as a leader, to someone that, in order to lead change successfully, you have to be willing to change yourself first.
Right.
So a lot of my speaking is around, if you want to make impactful change, you must change yourself first. So that means that you may have to understand that the landscape is changing. You have to learn new skills to be able to communicate to your people. And my little plug for having a coach, I know that you do quite a bit of coaching, and you and I both see the value in that, but it is extremely important as a leader to have coaches, mentors, advisors, people that can give you honest feedback, because it will be the thing that can help you sink or swim when it comes to
for sure
navigating your organization.
Totally. Yeah, it's so nice to be side by side with you, having great coaching, and I love that answer. I know you surround yourself with, experts and guides. So yeah, I'm glad to hear. We'll dig a little bit more into your mental health techniques and mindset and all the things. But we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we're going to find out how Jen stays healthy and charged and specifically how much sleep she gets to avoid burnout. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot too.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm George. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm Metro.
Hello, my name is Seven, and I am Metro.
My name is Chris, and I am Metro.
I am Michael Barretto, President and Founder of Metropolis Passenger Logistics, and we are Metro.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot too.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. Welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Jennifer Ayres. Jen, so much good stuff. Yeah, I'm loving it. And now we're going to enter a favorite topic of mine, entrepreneurs staying healthy while they're doing big things in life and business. So how do you approach your lifestyle to stay healthy with founding a company and growing you had significant growth in the first couple of years. So, and of course we need to know how much sleep you get as part of that. Yeah.
Well, alrighty then. So for things that I do to take care of myself and to remind myself that life is also about having fun.
Yes.
I adopted a meditation practice 5 years ago, first and foremost.
Okay.
And I absolutely believe that putting something like a meditation practice, at least to start, even if you take 1 minute of silent breathing. And I loved one of your speeches that you just did, explored that, taking a single breath in one of your experiential speaking engagements, because we run around always falling into that next minute. You know, we're either in the past or we're in the future. And so just taking that 1 minute minimal for yourself to feel your feet on the ground, feel your body, being present is something that I have seen really over time transform my ability to navigate uncertainty and to bounce back from setbacks. So that is something, number one, that I think, for me at least, has been really beneficial. I also have found keeping some kind of exercise practice up. So I do yoga and I walk my dogs. So I think having puppies in your life, I have 3 dogs who I travel with, which you know a lot. So for the rest of your audience, my husband, who's basically one of my partners in the company, helps me immensely when I have to go to client sites, because he will drive our van and it's set up in the back with an office, and we bring our 3 puppies with us and go explore and see new places. So it's a wonderful opportunity to have fun while you're doing work. So I think for me, maybe 3 things. One is some kind of quiet meditation practice and just centering. Coupled with that is gratitude. So expressing a gratitude or an appreciation at night when I go to bed, which I'll get to how many hours I sleep at night. My husband and I, it sounded a little quirky in the beginning, but we say 7 gratitudes out loud. We share gratitudes. It just puts you in a mindset when you've had a stressful day that there's always something that you can be grateful for. The fact that we have clean air to breathe, we can be grateful for that.
Absolutely.
So meditation, gratitude,
exercise,
something physical, something, keeping yourself physical. Those are things that I think have helped me a lot. Maybe a glass of wine in the evening from time to time. And so my sleep is pretty good. I tend to get about 7.5 hours of sleep.
Very impressive.
Which I think is good. That being said, I have had moments, I will have streaks where I wake up and I'm wide awake. And I have found that using meditation apps during those moments where my brain just wants to go, has helped at least get me out of my head enough to feel rested in the morning. So I feel totally different. If I get up and do something for an hour versus just force myself to lay there and listen to somebody trying to, talk me into listening to my breath or whatever, I will feel much, much different in the morning.
Have you tried to figure out the reason that you might wake up on those nights? Like, it's funny,
that's interesting.
For me, I eventually realized that it was days where I didn't manage my stress well, and then I think it was cortisol. And it's funny, I just made a TikTok about this.
I have to go check that out.
Yeah, and actually I was checking, and there were a lot of experts that had already made some kind of social posts about this. But yeah, I could, the whole hormone balance thing is important, and cortisol and the timing we should have a big increase of cortisol at the beginning of the day to help us wake up. But if it's too, we had too much, we crossed the threshold. For me, I could actually realize that I was allowing, because how we react, right? So when I reacted to things in life and just allowed myself to get stressed, that's
interesting.
What happened.
I'm going to pay attention to that. I have noticed that if I am paying attention to too much digitally at night, or it's not like, now my husband and I we'll try to find funny movies or funny series. I don't know if you've ever seen Schitt's Creek. It's hilarious.
I did see a few episodes.
Just anything that brings you more to an upbeat place when you're going to bed versus let me quick check the latest on some news channel that's going to tell you about the doom and gloom and, oh my God, the weather, it's going to rain tomorrow, you might die. Holy cow. So I'm going to check that out. And I was just going to say, how many hours do you sleep?
Yeah, so I'm doing a better job, and I am going to bed by between 10:30 and 11 and getting up at 6. But it's interesting with the sleep trackers, like I use Fitbit now, because of like the waking time. I'm not always getting 7, so still work in progress. When you really look at your sleep stages.
Yes, yes.
You know, because when I really studied sleep, all the magic happens between 7 and 9 hours, according to all the neuroscientists that really dove in on this.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I still have room for improvement then.
Well, I definitely do. I would say I've not always been consistent, but the value of sleep and making that a priority is definitely important.
Yeah. Well, nice job with all your lifestyle stuff. Yeah, glad to hear you're exercising, and the meditation we'll have to talk more about. I'm reading my first Joe Dispenza book, and I think I was telling you about that, and he's got some meditation and pretty powerful. So anyway, we'll talk more about that, but I'm glad you're keeping yourself healthy. So the next thing I wanted to ask you about, you've already made 5 years, and I can't wait till you hit 10 with the new company. Congrats. You're working with so many big organizations, successful organizations. What trends and patterns are you noticing? You already mentioned kind of some of the needs that you're seeing, but from all angles, what are some of your observations?
So I think now more than ever, people are questioning purpose, and that's something that we address, and we address through not only organized programs, but through our coaching programs. We have executive coaching programs, middle management coaching programs, because it's been exacerbated with the pandemic.
Right.
Everything that you may have been thinking about as to why you're doing what you're doing got amplified during the pandemic.
Right.
So there's a lot of turmoil still that isn't overtly expressed, but shows up in the organization in different ways that leads to the erosion of trust in an organization, and we can pinpoint some of those things. So I think people just identifying and examining why they're here, why they're doing what they're doing, why the company exists, which is why we are hearing even more now established companies. I mean, the clients that we're working with are some of the best, and they've been around for a long time, and they're asking for help redefining or evaluating their culture because there is some question on, are we aligned to what we think we should be doing as an organization? What is the purpose of our organization?
Right.
And then hence the individuals are questioning that.
Yeah.
We see a lot of burnout with special middle management where they are trying to manage down and also do what their supervisor are asking, and they're not getting the kind of support or tools that they need to manage the emotions that they need to manage. So there's a lot of inquiry around, how do I show greater empathy? How do I communicate in a way that lands with that individual? How do I negotiate difficult conversations because the tension is high and the stress levels are higher than ever.
Right.
And with, again, the acceleration of technologies, good news, bad news, it's great because it opens up new ways of working and also allows us to offload some of these task or mundane things that can stress us out. Mm-hmm. And it can give us the feeling that we still need to be on all the time. Right. So people are looking to figure out ways to set boundaries. They're trying to navigate still the hybrid workplace. They're trying to also understand why, in some cases, when they're being called back to work, they're being back to office. Like, that's a stupid language. Come back to work, back to the physical space. Right. A lot of people have been working in hybrid scenarios for a long time without problems. So it's negotiating a new work style. We've got 5 generations in the organization now that are working, and that's fairly historic. So you have a lot of anxiety around, how do I manage my people properly with the technologies that I may not be familiar with because they are very different today than they were 10, 20, 15 years ago, 30 years ago. How do I speak to my people in a way that is supportive? And I myself may not have been trained on how to do that, because often organizations will promote people based on skill set, but that skill set doesn't necessarily translate to being able to manage people and the emotions that go with those people. So those are some of the themes I think that we're hearing. Purpose, getting clear on why you're with the organization, getting clear about understanding what the organizational purpose is, how you fit into that, making sure that you're getting the right support as a leader, because there's uncertainty in how to manage teams in a hybrid environment with accelerating technologies. Those are a lot of the themes that we're hearing.
And the good news is you're able to help with most or all of those, which is pretty amazing. So if you were to bottle up your best recommendations for people that want to achieve, high levels of success in life and business, what would that be? And then I want you to share all the ways people can find you and the organization.
Okay, so I believe that to be a successful leader, that you first and foremost figure out how to put a contemplative practice in place. Maybe that's prayer, maybe that's meditation, maybe that's just being quiet.
Right.
And the only reason I put that out there first is because, again, if you want to change the world, change yourself first. Be the change you want to see. It's a quote that's often referred to, that's stated over and over again. But it's true, because as a leader, you have to find space. You have so many demands on you in the organization, so many asks. You have got to find a way to set a boundary to hear the inner voice of what is really what you believe is the right thing to do and the right action to take. And being able to give yourself that space in some way will allow you to see things a little differently. So I like to say, I just spoke to one of my executive coaches today, and she's about to have a difficult conversation, and I said, and I've been hammering her about making sure she takes space, but be curious. So as a leader, I think we need to remain curious, because we need to always understand we might not have the right answers. How do we get some of that input? How do we get some of the insights from others? And how do we see what's coming? Be kind.
Okay.
Let's attack the problem, not the person.
Right.
And be clear. One of the ways you get clear is to take the time to be focused, set boundaries for yourself to focus on what you need, and that can help bring clarity and insights on how you can move forward.
Okay, that's some good messages. I love that.
Good. And you asked how people can find me. So we have our website, senscientglobal.com, and you can.
Do you want to spell it? It's probably going to be in the show notes.
Senscient.
Yes.
And now I'm like, I can't even spell my own company name. So you can find it on the show notes. You can find us through, we are relaunching a podcast, Survive and Thrive, which is now called Ascending Change. So that's going to be launching this month, and we're tackling actually AI change for business good. So it will be featuring some very cool speakers who know a lot about how AI can impact us in a positive way, and things to think about that could be problematics as well. So we address both aspects of that. So, and if you're going to provide them my website and my LinkedIn profile, then people can reach out directly and
on LinkedIn.
Provide the.
Is that the best social for you then?
LinkedIn is the best social, and you have my email, so you can put that in there.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you for sharing your journey and just all of your best life and entrepreneurial advice and continued success. You're going to continue to do so much good for the world.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me out today, and thank you for what you do, because you are helping to keep people focused on their well-being. And I loved your book. Hopefully, if you haven't read Lance's book, definitely do it, because Lance will deliver, what is it now, two times the what's the 10x, 2 times 10x that you are touting?
Oh, my favorite book. Yeah, 10x is easier than 2x. 10x,
right.
Yeah.
But you are helping people do 10x, so you're going now from 4% to 10%.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you for the book recommendation.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll both be, we're coaching together, and we're going to be sharing big stages together as well to continue to spread all of our messages. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think we already mentioned Rob Holman, but if not, thanks, Rob, for all the goodness. And everyone, thanks for tuning in. Jen, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much
for everything. Please check out all of Jen's, stuff or website for the companies that need her help. She offers so much. And please join us again next week on our next episode of Moving Mountains.